So here I am again talking about Easter, because my first video was about evidence for the resurrection, and I realised people might not particularly care, thinking, well, look, so what if it's true? So here briefly is why the resurrection is so significant, so good, and I hope by the end you're left thinking, wow, I really do want that to be true. And the first thing I thought I'd mention is the good news for us individually. And that's the hope that there is life after death, not the Hindu idea of reincarnation, coming back as somebody, something that nobody knows is you, not the bleak belief that you die and eventually so will the sun, so will the universe, and it will all have been pointless. I've been watching a telly programme called Pilgrimage on BBC iPlayer. Maybe you've seen it too. There's a really nice guy on there, a TV personality called Amma, who was brought up Muslim. Age 4, he was diagnosed with a disease affecting his eyes, and by the time he was 18, he was blind. And Amma reflects on how he turned from faith when he lost his sight. And then in the programme, he's given the chance to visit a mosque if he wants to, for the first time in years. And he jokes, maybe if I do go to mosque, maybe then I'll get my sight back. But clearly, he's not expecting his sight back, not ever. In contrast, the Christian hope is just awesome. It's way beyond what Amma thought was too much to hope for. Resurrection gives Christians the hope of their own physical body after death, and it will last forever, no longer prone to sickness, to decay. More solid and more real, as if these bodies we inhabit now are just a shadow of what's to come. When the disciples saw Jesus resurrected, they reported they'd seen him eat, they'd touched him, and ruled out their suspicion that they'd just seen an insubstantial ghost. So that's good for us individually, but there's good news for the whole planet too. I guess you're familiar with what's in the first chapters of the Bible. The book called Genesis starts with paradise, heaven on earth. But humans become enemies of each other, fighting one another and also rejecting God. And so a separation happens. God's perfect heavenly realm is unable to coexist with evil, and so it's separated from earth. And throughout the Bible, there's a theme of heaven being brought back to earth. Jesus in particular refers to himself bringing the kingdom heaven to earth. And his resurrection demonstrates that his talk of bringing heaven to earth, of victory over death and sin and evil, wasn't just idle boasting. His life and his resurrection demonstrate defeat of evil and death, of everything that went wrong on earth. How can we possibly have perfect heaven on earth unless evil and death are to be defeated? In the future, the Bible claims there will be heaven on earth once more after Judgment Day. There will be no more sickness, no more death, no more suffering or tears. That's how the Bible describes it. Heaven on earth again. And claims that the resurrection affirms that Jesus himself will be the judge of all that's wrong with this world. So the global benefit is the hope of evil judged and defeated, heaven on earth once more. The Apostle Paul says the resurrection declares with power that Jesus is the Son of God. In other words, the resurrection demonstrates that Jesus is who he says he was. A historic event for all the world to see, and this sets Christianity completely apart from any other religion. There's no other religion presenting God as saying, look, I'll give you a demo. So there you are. Individual benefit, a new everlasting body, death defeated, but also global benefit, all wrongs judged, evil defeated, and after that, heaven on earth. And a historic demonstration that you can look into that Jesus is who he says he is. So I've got a question for you. Can you look me in the eye and say you don't care about those things, about wrongs judged, an end to death and heaven on earth? I think you do care. And if you do care about those things, what are you going to do? Will you read a gospel for yourself, or ask Ben and me your questions, or ask us for a link to join us at our online church meeting? Please make a comment below for sure, and thank you for listening.